Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to X-Play. You have happened upon one of the great moments in television, the annual episode when we celebrate the greatest achievements in the video gaming arts.
Welcome to the 3rd annual Golden Mullet Awards. In this show, we highlight the games from the past year which sucked so hard they bent space and time.
Games that sucked so hard, even Christina Aguilera was impressed.
This august award is named for the auriferous ape drape of the star of the worst video game of all time, Aquaman.
In the dimly remembered past of 2003, we reviewed this shining pillar of crapulence, this triumph of boring poopitude. And we realized that Aquaman's sun-colored short long was worth more than a simple joke about the shoddy Alabama school system.
It was a cultural milestone that would one day rate with the Nobel Prize, the Field Medal, and the Daytime Emmy as one of the greatest awards of merit known in our culture. Tonight, history will be made. Tonight, we present the Golden Mullets.
Our first award goes to a game in the competitive field of urban shooters. Minigames try to capture the gritty feel of urban warfare. Minigames rip off the Grand Theft Auto series to do so.
But only one game managed to slaughter inner-city vernacular so severely that we said it deserved a flaxen Canadian passport. Here's our first winner, 187 Ride or Die.
Yo, you crazy. You can't touch me,
In this age of 15-button controllers and instruction manuals the size of War and Peace, it's rare to play a video game that gives you few options. And with this one, you have just two. You either ride, or you die. And then you play 187 Ride or Die while you're burning in hell. Well, because we imagine that's the kind of game people will be playing in hell. This French-developed ride through seedy, bullet-ridden streets lacks all street cred. Oh, here's a clue. If you're gonna make a game all crunked out with OGs and gangstas, don't let Pierre make it.
This is how OGs do it. Ya heard? G-Ride up. Now you've been trained, gangster.
You call that G-Ride?
Then rat-a-tat-tat-tat.
You getting crunk out in these streets. Dog.
This game tries to be black harder than Urkel ever did, and it fails miserably.
My boy Buck.
But games aren't all about subject matter, right? And at first glance, Ride or Die can easily be mistaken for a Grand Theft Auto clone. Don't be fooled. It's more twisted metal than Tommy Vercetti. In fact, you'll never leave the confines of your vehicle, unless you count hanging out of the sunroof. This game is all about the cars. Though there really aren't that many of those. Ride or Die's single-player game is lighter than a crack whore on a 2-week binge. You play as a young thug named Buck who's trying to climb the crime syndicate ladder. Buck's boss is a Biggie Smalls knockoff named Dupree.
If you fail, you die.
Nice guy. Dupree's at war with another loser named Cortez.
Yeah, you got the best of me now, dog.
So it's only a matter of time before good old Buck gets caught in the middle.
Let's do it right now, right here.
Toss in a heaving helping of TNA, and the urban-themed action game stereotype is complete. And what do gangsters do when they've got beefs with other gangsters? Why, they race against each other, of course. And in 187 Ride or Die, they can shoot too, which begs the question, why bother racing when you can stand on solid ground and shoot each other? Though the premise is flawed, at least there are a few different types of races. There are simple lap affairs where you have to finish first, deathmatch-style brawls a la Twisted Metal, running from the popo, as the game calls them, and the dreaded escort mission. The weapons are what you'd expect. There are bombs to leave on the road, and plenty of firearms.
Hell yeah, come on, get some.
The gameplay is aight, but after a couple of hours, old man tedium takes a crap in the lazy boy. All you're left with is a typical story and voice acting that could have used a hooked on Ebonics class.
Then you can get gully with it, player.
Even the cooperative multiplayer, where one person drives and the other shoots, can't save this one from the crack vial-infested gutter. A Twisted Metal clone without the twist, Ride or Die is a racer that's easy to pick up and even easier to put down. If sucking were a bicycle race, 187 Ride or Die would be the Tour de France. We give it a 2 out of 5.
get gully with it? I'm pretty sure the French people made that up.
No, Morgan, that actually is hip urban slang. You know how gangster rap artists draw inspiration from Scarface?
Oh yeah, the Diddy loves some Tony Montana.
Yes, well, gangsters have a similar love for Fern Gully, the last rainforest. Getting gully with it means you're pretending you're an Australian fairy.
Heath Ledger?
Welcome back to X-Play as we present the 3rd annual Golden Mullet Awards.
Not all of the Golden Mullets are being presented here tonight. Now, earlier this week, the Dragon Ball Z Technical Awards of Non-Excellence were handed out at a Radisson in Burbank. I hosted these awards. Apparently, I had a bit too much of a drinky and got in a fight with a guy named Garlic Jr. I really don't want to talk about it.
Then don't. Some games are born to suck. Some achieve suck. Others have suck thrust upon them. But it is only a very few which manage to suck in a truly epic way.
These games are part of a special group that include Drake and the 99 Dragons, Superman for the N64, and of course, E.T.
This year, one game offered $1 million prize for online play. Then never actually gave anyone the money. What it did deliver was a grossly overblown orchestral score for every boredom-laced moment of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, our next honoree is Advent Rising. Ooh. When a game's called Advent Rising, you can typically smell the sense of importance wafting from the DVD case. It smells like Roger Waters on fire. But it doesn't stop at the packaging. This is the beginning of Advent Rising. Important cinematic opening, big things are happening.
How big is this thing?
It's big. Then it switches to important, slow-moving gameplay. But it's really easy to not realize that you're supposed to control the ship. No, that would break the illusion of futuristic boredom. Then you have to walk. Okay, I dance. But you have to do it through miles of an uninteresting space station where everyone ignores you. Whoever thought this would help articulate a fully realized world should realize that stale matzah covered in Marmite engenders a stronger reaction than this Tomorrowland cafeteria. Then the story starts. I know it's a big old deal that space scribe Orson Scott Card wrote this self-professed epic, but doesn't he undermine it with characters like this?
A what? A complete language dump.
Suck up, brother.
So there's these good aliens who apparently haven't seen a Jimmy Fallon movie, and as a result, revere the human race.
Glorious humans.
And then there's these bad aliens called Seekers. I don't know what they're seeking, but from the look of it, it's a role in the next Halo game. So finally the game starts, right? Well, if you consider dragging your buddy's limp ass through more of this space Holiday Inn, then yes. Finally, you get to start killing things. Which, to the game's credit, is fast, furious, and frequent. Although, in the interest of consistency, the combat's as screwed up as Edward Furlong in Bolivia. See, there's a lot of enemies, so you need to target one to shoot them. And the targeting works by flicking the right analog stick. Curiously, you also move the camera with the right analog stick, so you'll find yourself accidentally targeting enemies all over the place. Oh yeah, the game also likes to auto-target whenever it will, so you'll be playing some obnoxious game of homicidal semaphore. Huh. Now that sounds familiar. What you get is Drake chaotically throwing his arms every which way like a homicidal semaphore session. No, the game isn't as bad as that, but it has the slideshow effect of a bad frame rate, graphics as stunning as a bowl of rice, and it's also clearly suckled from the creative teat of Halo that the Bungie guys must be feeling mighty tender right now. What's so sad is that somewhere in the Formica corners of Advent Rising, you can see a fun, entertaining game yearning to get out. Instead, there's a whole bunch of overblown concepts that get so in the way of the game that it trips over itself to a 2 out of 5.
I'm gonna feel that one in the morning.
Wow, Adam, that is a powerful game. You know, I had so often said to myself, I wonder what it would be like if Halo were horrible.
Now we know, Morgan, and knowledge is a kind of death.
X-Play's Golden Mullet Award for Most Unfortunately Named Character. The winner is Dynasty Warrior 5 for the character of Cow P.
I am Cow P.
He's 800 years old, wields a shaft, and is named for...
Cow P.
What the hell were they thinking?
I am Cow P.
He's named after cow urine, for Christ's sake.
Cow P.
Cow P.
I am...
Cow P. I get it.
Welcome back to X-Play's Golden Mullet Awards, celebrating the greatest achievements in video game badness this year.
Now, for years, movie games have been at the forefront of being an aberration in the eyes of God.
From Land of the Dead to Catwoman, these games take the worst aspects of a bad movie and turn them into a mess that can barely be called a game.
The few of them have the balls to combine the sucktastic nature of movie games with the History Channel-style boredom of real-time strategy. Alexander had those balls. And here is our next honoree.
I've known many great men in my life, but only one Colossus.
I have known a great many games in my life, but only one Colossus. And by that I mean a colossal piece of Alexander, the biggest box office failure since Waterworld, has been transformed into an RTS with all the subtlety of Angelina Jolie's acting.
In my womb I carried my Avenger.
Jeez, calm down.
Womb.
Alexander seems like the perfect fit for a strategy game. He is still regarded as one of the finest military minds in history. But as you play the game, you'll realize that there is no use for tactics or strategy. Just point, click, and watch your perfect formations fall into a chaotic mess of sweat, blood, and men.
No one, not my finest enemy, has spoken like you to me!
Actually, I'm being kind.
No one!
Because the game claims that being a brilliant tactician will in some way help you defeat the enemy.
The battle is not about numbers of troops. I'm going to see if the rumors about Darius's battle skills are true.
The truth is that the best way to win a battle is simply to outnumber the other army. There is no sense in breaking this blob of men into a formation when stampeding through the streets will do just fine. A marching band of death. The battles are grand and massive in scale, and the idea of conquering the world as Alexander the Great is exciting. But don't expect to hear the dulcet tones of Angelina Jolie and Colin Farrell.
My womb! No one!
Rather, you'll be treated to what sounds like a high school theater troupe returning home from England.
I like the marquee. I am taking it.
Brigands!
The booty is immense there, no doubt.
Brigands!
My father was ambushed and captured by folk and robbers.
Brigands!
The composer supplies his score and offers some words of wisdom.
I try to remember how is to live at that time, and by thinking, you reduce the chances of something. I think Alexander is for everybody. It's a very special case.
Yeah, it's real special. However, the game, like the movie, is a black hole of boring. A place where the light of excitement cannot escape. We give Alexander a 2 out of 5.
No one, not my finest enemy, has spoken like you to me!
You know, if they were going to make a bad game about Alexander, why couldn't it be bad in the way the movie was bad?
You really want a real-time strategy game with more eye makeup?
I was thinking Fat Val Kilmer.
They should have made Sexy Eunuchs a hero unit. Certainly seemed to up Colin Farrell's stats.
And now with our final award, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's celebration of the worst in gaming this year, the Golden Mullet Awards.
Many of tonight's honorees actually received a score of 2 out of 5. You may be wondering, if they're the worst, why not 1 out of 5?
The answer is Silence! Do not question us!
The truth is, sometimes a game that earns a 2 can be bad in a more vast, impressive way. It's like post-apocalyptic Kevin Costner films. The Postman was bad, but Waterworld was so magnificently bad, you almost respected it.
Also, we're lazy, and looking through all those old bad reviews makes my head hurt.
And now for the climax of our evening. Tonight's honoree manages to fuse bad gameplay, bad politics, and prairie dogs into a single horrible game.
Each and every year, we pray for a game so bad it scares us. And we got one.
Here's our review of NRA Varmint Hunter.
The following audio and video have been untouched by we here at XPlay. We couldn't make this crap up if we tried.
I do try to keep an open mind. No, really. I'm reviewing NRA Varmint Hunter because we want to showcase a variety of cultures on XPlay. This is the culture that enjoys killing small rodents from a distance. Think of it as shock and awe for the lonely. While this is the first game to be a joint venture between a developer and an activist lobby, there are more to look forward to, like the AARP Pension Riot and Earth First Extreme Tree Sitting. So what does Varmint Hunter have to offer? Well, let's look at the game's press materials. The game offers a very high degree of realism and education. Animal behavior is modeled in the most realistic way. It's for you if you like pulling the trigger often. Because of that, the world of reloading is frequently an integral part of the sport. Reloading is a world like Unicron. Like you'll find that in ACLU Evolution Endorser or the Christian Coalition Fun Wheel of Blame. No, in this game, we learn how to approach a dog town and work that town to achieve stimulating shooting. Once again, work that town to achieve stimulating shooting. Like you'll find that in Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety Racing. No, this game allows you to compete against friends over the Speedco online network, which is cool, except it doesn't exist. Like the Log Cabin Republicans' endorsement hunt could ever make that claim. So, if this game looks appealing, then the National Review makes you Randy. Everyone else should just hold tight for the Entertainment Software Association's Cause and Effect Deniability Challenge. Do we even need to say it? A 1 out of 5.
Oh, National Rifle Association, you've helped plague our nation with handgun violence. Now, you're plaguing us with shooters that pit us against rodents. Thank you.
Well, another year's mullets have been awarded, but game developers, the challenge goes out. Can you produce even worse games than these?
I don't care. I just want to take this wig off. I think I have lice.
You know, the lice probably built a condo by now. That much hair.
And now, XPlay's Golden Mullet Award for games that cultivated the worst attitudes on the XPlay staff. The winner is Major League Baseball 2K5.
Ah! Bullshit! You make that throw every day! Third, moron! What? Who's that? No. Dive! Dive! What the is button? What the is this button? It's the dive button!
That's a forfeit.